John chapter 1, verse 10 through 13. He was in the world, and the world was made by him.
Right.
And the world knew him not.
So Yahweh Shai created the world. But the world didn't understand when he came to this earth, who they called Jesus. They didn't understand that they was looking at their creator. And it's crazy because it says no servant is greater than his master. So the same way they didn't understand that Yahweh Shai was the creator, it's the same exact way that they don't understand that we're the children of God. Is that they knew us not, they rejected us. The same way they rejected him. Right, read.
Verse 11. He came unto his own,
Right.
and his own received him not.
That's right. Read.
But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God.
Right, so nothing ever changes. The promises, the covenants, David, everything, the kingdom was always promised to Israel and Israel only. So when you read this, it sounds like he came to the Jews and the Jews didn't accept him, but then he went to another people. But when we read this Bible, it takes faith, and the Lord put everything in His Bible. He worded everything. He worded it on purpose. So if you believe the Most High, then you know those children that he went to those people that he went to, they had to be Israelites. If you truly believe what he said, right? So let's get Deuteronomy 29 and 29 real quick, right? Let's get that real quick. Let's also get give me Jeremiah 31 and 31, okay? Give me that. You give me Deuteronomy 29 and 29.
Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 29.
Right.
The secret things belong unto the Lord our God. But those things which are revealed belong unto us.
They belong to her? Who?
Unto us and to our children.
See, if you believe the Most High, that all these things belong to us and our children, and that the Most High don't change, then these things that you see in the New Testament that's written in mysteries, allegories, right? Because you got to understand, there was a time period between then and now where it became unlawful to call yourself a Jew. So we had to start speaking in a different language, meaning in riddles. You see what I'm saying? We couldn't just say things out in the open because you could get put to death for calling yourself a Jew, right? So if you walked around talking about you the chosen people and the rest of y'all people, man, they put you to clean to death. So we had to say things like Gentiles, right? We had to say, we had to make up names, man, just to survive. But we're going to get the understanding of this thing we're going to get it through the precepts, watch. So give me Jeremiah 31 and 31, right?
Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 31. Behold, the days come,
right,
said the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, with the house of Judah.
Right, you see that? So we just read in John, 1 John, that he came to his own, but his own received him not. So, but as many as received gave he the power, or them the power to become the sons of the living God. So those things shouldn't be hard to understand if you believe, right? So let's go back to that first. Let's go back to John.
John chapter 1.
Start back at 10.
1 and 10.
Read.
He was in the world,
right,
and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not.
Right.
He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
Right.
But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Yahweh.
Right. Read.
Even to them that believed on his name.
Right.
Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh,
right,
nor of the will of man,
right,
but of Yahweh.
Right. So Christians, the thing about it, the importance of this scripture is that Christians they'll try to use it against you. They'll try to say, see, they were born not of blood. These weren't Israelites, right? They wasn't born of the flesh, right? But they was born of God. That means that everybody can get in. No, that's not what that means. That means that what's going on right here, it had nothing to do with flesh. It wasn't because, You were an Israelite, one because that you was the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It was because the Most High chose this before the foundation of the earth. And you being Israelite, that's just your lot. These things, they it's greater than what, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. So give me, let me show you part of that. Let's go to Ephesians. We're gonna walk through it, right? We're gonna explain it slowly. These things, that's got everything to do with predestination. It was predestined for us to meet here and have Bible study. You know, some may think that you got up this morning, you chose to wear that outfit, Grace. You might think that you got up in the morning, you chose to wear that outfit. No, it was predestined for you to put that on. It was predestined for us to be here at this very given time, right? So give me these precepts.
Ephesians 1:3-5.
Bring it out.
Blessed be the God and the Father of our Lord, Yahushua,
Right?
who has blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places
Read.
in Christ, according as he have chosen us in him before the foundation of the world.
He did what?
According as he have chosen us in him before the foundation of the world.
So we was chose before this earth was created to do what?
That we should be holy and
That we should be holy, and what else?
and without blame before him in love,
Read.
having predestinated us into the adoption of children.
Right, given the power to become the sons of the Most High. Predestined. This power. Read 5 again.
Having predestinated unto us, unto the adoption of the children of Yahushua, to himself according to the good pleasure of his will.
Right, so this thing is wow. We was with the Most High before we got here. And it just, you could have been an Edomite. You could have been a Hamite. You could have been a Moabite. You see what I'm saying? You could have been a lot of different things, but the Lord said, you know what? You're going to be an Israelite. And I'm going to send my son to save you. You're going to go off. But in the end, at the end of the book, at your last, I'm going to bring you back, right? On earth, you're going to be counted as nothing. On earth, everybody's going to mistreat you. They're not going to know who you are. But my mercy and redemption for you is that I'm going to send my son, right? I'm going to show my power through these people that mistreated you. And then I'm going to give you the kingdom. I'm going to set you above all of these people. Not only the righteous of you, but his grace is so sufficient that even the wicked amongst Israel is going to be saved. All Israel is going to be saved. Every black, Hispanic, and Native American will get the kingdom of heaven. That is the predestination set from the foundation of the earth, man. That's glorious. Even Judas, man. Judas himself will be forgiven, man. And Yahushua is going to forgive him, and everybody's going to proclaim, you know, Yahushua the righteous, Yahushua the merciful, right? We going to all rejoice, man. That's going to be a mighty day, because we betrayed the son too. You know, why wouldn't he forgive Judas and he forgave us? What makes you better than Judas? That was his lot. That's what's so merciful. That's what I'm trying to show you. It was Judas didn't have no choice in the matter. Before Judas was born, it was predestined for Judas to betray Yahushua. That's why after he did it, he was so sorrowful. He couldn't understand why he did that. There was a spirit that came on Judas from the Most High that was stronger than Judas, because the scriptures had to be fulfilled. This is the Most High play, and we all play a role. First, or John 1-10 and 13, it's predestination, right? So give me the next precept. Give me Proverbs 16 and 9, okay. Judah. David, give me Proverbs 16 and 9. Judah, I want Romans 9 and 10. Okay. Watch this. Proverbs 16 and 9. David, I need that in the NIV. I'm going to get that for you real quick. Proverbs 16 and 9. I'm going to hand you this real quick. And the NIV. All right, come here. Read this right here. The second one, 16 and 9. Read that bold, son. Right here, 16 and 9. Read that. So hold on, before you read it, a lot of people think they in charge. A lot of people think that you make the decisions. You know what's going on. You choosing your own path, but you're not, man. The Lord is choosing your path. Read this.
We can make our plans.
We can do what?
We can make our plans.
You can make your plans, but what?
But the Lord determines our steps.
But the Lord determines your steps, man. You can make a lot of plans. I've made a lot of plans. I was supposed to be in Florida, own a boating company, you know, a charter company. That's what I was going to do. That's what I was working for. I had the money for it. But here I am, hey, teaching this gospel, man. You know, because it was predestined. I didn't know the understanding of this book, but here it is. I have it. I have it. I got the understanding of this book. It was predestined. I had a plan to do something else. I didn't plan to get married and be a father and raise children. My plans was to live my life.
Nope.
That was my plans, man. That was my plans, but the Lord said, "No, man. You know, I called you for a purpose, right? Just like a lot of us, man." And these scriptures, I accept that, man, because I understand it. He gave me the spirit to understand His will and not buck up against it, which is, you know, beautiful. So read that one. I'm gonna read it one more time. We make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. So give me that. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something about predestination.
Romans chapter 9, verse 10.
Right?
And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born.
For the what?
For the children being not yet born.
So before anybody was born, read.
Neither having done any good or evil.
Before you've done good or evil, read.
That the purpose of God according to the election might stand.
They didn't have a choice in the matter. But the will of the Most High might stand. Read.
Not of works.
Not of works. Now we're going back to John. Not of works, not of flesh, not of man, but what?
But of him that calleth.
See, the Lord made it. Read.
It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
See, it was predestined for us to be in rulership. And what else?
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
So the Most High created us to love us, and He created them to hate them before He was ever even born. Not of will, not of man, not of the flesh, but of the power of the Most High, man. This is His movie. We got to understand everybody's playing a role, man. The more you understand this, the more things become simple. You lived a lot that the Lord give you, accept it. Hey man, you could be great. But you had something, David?
Yeah.
What you had?
Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 27. Prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house.
Can you read this for me? That's a great precept, David. I like that one too. Read predestined.
Predestined.
So if anybody didn't know what predestination is, we about to get the definition for it, right? Read.
Of an outcome or course of events determined in advance by divine will or fate.
Read it one more time.
Of an outcome or course of events.
So an outcome or course of events, read.
Determined in advance.
Determined in advance. Read.
By divine will or fate.
By divine will or fate. It's like you knowing the lotto numbers, man. It's like you know what I'm saying? You seeing into tomorrow. And that's how the prophets was able to see into today. Because the Lord showed them the divine outcome and will be ahead of time. And we living in that. Right? Give me Barak 2 and 30. I'm gonna prove it.
I got a precept.
I'm gonna show you, you got a precept? Y'all should give me Barak 2 and 30 real quick. Give me this.
All right. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and 21.
Read.
There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord shall stand.
That's mighty. That's mighty, son. Hey, there's many devices in a man's heart. A man got a lot of plans. But nevertheless, what the Lord say is gonna is going to happen. Give me that Job. What I just called? Y'all see?
Barak 2 and 30.
I'm going to show you. Give me Barak 2 and 30. Right? Judah, give me Job 33. You need
Barak 2 and 30. For I knew that they would not hear me.
Right.
For they are a stiff-necked people.
But what's going to happen?
But in the land of their enemies, they shall remember themselves.
You see that? That was something predestined and proclaimed before it happened. In the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. You're looking at it right now. Watch this. Give me Job. I think it's 33. Job 33. I'm gonna show you how man have his own will, but the Lord determined, right?
I had a precept.
Hold on. Right. Give me Job 33 and 14, Judah. Watch this.
Job 33 and 14.
I want y'all to listen well. Listen.
For God speaketh once,
Right?
yea, twice,
Uh-huh.
yet man perceiveth it not.
So he's talking to man a lot, all the time. But most men don't hear God when he talk. So God give you instruction to do, and he wants you to hear his voice and do it. But most men don't. So now he got to make you. Read.
In a dream, in a vision of the night,
Right?
when deep sleep falleth upon man.
He even give men dreams and visions that they don't understand. He talked to you through parables, through crazy dreams. He done spoke to you, but you don't understand it. So guess what? Read.
And slumberings upon the bed.
Right?
Then he openeth the ears of men.
He literally give you an idea. He opened the ears of man. Read.
And sealeth their instruction.
So he seal what you gonna do on the morrow. So you don't have no choice in the matter. The Most High literally told me what I was gonna do today, and I'm doing it. He told all of us what we was gonna be doing. It's another predestined precept. Tobit. Give me Tobit 6. And I didn't even have these wrote down, right? Tobit 6 and 17. I want you to read this, Yasha. Tobit 6 and 17. This is a good one for you, right? You had something?
I had a question.
What you had?
I was gonna ask, so when you're dealing with double-minded people, is that like a legion the Most High put on that person to keep changing their mind?
Yeah, it was
In
just,
different spirits.
It was just the lot of the Lord that had them just like live a life of confusion, just be baffled. And the Lord hate the double-minded.
Yeah.
That was just their life. Before they was born, before they had ever done good or evil, it was just born. They was born to say, maybe I want to wear checkers today. No, I'm gonna put on the circles. No, maybe, and they just sit there and waste their whole life, man. Right? I know it sounds harsh, but I didn't create it. I didn't do it. The Lord said it so. And our people gotta learn to love truth instead of rely on our emotions. Well, that don't feel right. That don't sound right. But I know, but it's thus saith the Lord. You see, his ways are higher than our ways, and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. He planned this, man. So you gotta have, if he planned this perfect movie, then you gotta have the righteous, you gotta have the wicked, you gotta have the people in the background that you don't notice. You gotta have a guy that fall, right? You gotta have a woman that, you gotta have people in the background. Give me that predestination.
Tobit
6 and 17.
6 and verse 17.
Read this.
And the devil shall smell it,
Right?
and flee away, and never come again anymore. But when thou shalt come to her, rise up both of you, and pray to God, which is merciful, who will have pity on you,
Right?
and save you. Fear not, for she is appointed unto thee.
She is what?
She is appointed unto thee
From when?
from the beginning.
Your wife. You thought you just, I just love her and she's perfect, or you thought you met your husband or something. You thought you picked it. You thought it was love at first sight. No, she was appointed to you from the beginning, before the earth was created. Your wife was handpicked by the Most High.
Hey.
You didn't have no choice in the matter. Whether she yap, and I can't do it. God save me. Look, you ain't got no choice in the matter, man. It is what it is,
Or she quiet and silence and loving and caring.
Yeah, or she fine.
Yeah.
That skin so soft. And woo-wee. Hey, man, we had no choice in the matter. But let's get into it, man. Let's give me Jeremiah 1:5. Who got that? You got that, Yasha? Go back around. Start back at Jeremiah 1:5. Then Jeremiah 29:11. We got a few more.
Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Jeremiah 1 and 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee.
See, you didn't have no choice in the matter. Read it one more time.
Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Before you came through your mother's womb, you knew the Most High. That's why these things are important. You got to think higher than what you're thinking now. You got to remember. You don't know what was said, but we do know what was said, some of the things. You got to remember, you was with the Most High. You was having conversations with the Most High. You was friends with him. You were friends with the Most High before you got here. And guess what you said? He said, I need somebody to go down there and keep my commandments. I need somebody to go down there in a perverse and wicked generation and do what I say. And you know what you said? I'll do it. This is what you said. This is what you said. He said, before you was formed in the belly, I knew. We made promises. We forgot our friend, man. We was friends with God, man. Don't come down here and start forgetting your relationship that you had before you got here. This is a temporal thing, man. This body get, before you know it, it's old. You young, you get old, and you die before you know it. And you return back to your maker. He say, dang, it was only 60 years. You played me for eternity. You went down there, you forgot everything I told you to do. You remember what you said? You said you was gonna do this, right? What happened? I forgot. You forgot. The maker. Don't do that, right? So give me dang. Something slipped my mind. I really want to hit on that.
I have a precept.
Hold on, David. Hold on.
So really can I ask the question?
Go ahead.
So really us down here, that's to the Most High, really it ain't even years, right? It's more like
it's a blink.
Right.
All right, give me Jeremiah 29:11. I'm gonna try to. I was something I want to say. Go ahead, though.
Jeremiah 29:11.
Right.
For I know that the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil.
You see that?
To give you an expected end.
Right. So go back to John. So these things were predestined. Thoughts of peace to give you an expected end, right? So give me that John back. Go back to John 1 and give me the predestined part.
John 1.
Yeah, go back to John 1 and 12.
John chapter 1 and verse 12. But as many as received him, to them gave he the power to become the sons of God, even to them that believed on his name.
Read.
Which were born, not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of Yahweh.
Read.
And the word was made flesh.
So that's all I want on that. So give me Romans 8 and 29. So these people we're coming back to the Most High because it was predestined for us to come back to the Most High, man. Give me Romans 8 and 29. And the promises are only for Israel. And they will try to replace us, but the same way they try to replace Christ. I keep telling you, no servant is greater than his master. The same way they took this sign, they got this white man with blue eyes and brown hair, and everybody accepted him, and they'll lie and say that they didn't. They accepted him as Christ. It's the same way they took those people and put them in the land, and they accepted them as the Jews. It's no difference. But what? That's why they buck up against Revelations 1 and 14, because they don't accept the Savior. We living in the world. They do not accept Christ as he is written, and they will not accept the Jews, the true Jews, as it is written. He says, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 46 real quick, Grace. Deuteronomy 28 and 46. Quickly, right?
I had a piece to ask this.
Okay, hold on, David. 46.
Deuteronomy 28 and 46.
Bring it out.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder, and upon thee, and upon thy seed forever.
And upon thy children forever. These curses are going to be upon the Israelites forever, so you can identify them in the world that tried to erase them. The Lord knew what was going to happen. Why would he write this in Deuteronomy? Why was there a need to put a sign? The same way he put a sign on Cain, to mark him, to distinguish him, so you would know who Cain is. The same way he had to put a sign on Israel. You're not going to be able to just say, okay, okay, you black, you're white, you're Jew. No, these signs is going to be on you. Give me 68. That's why they hate this sign. Give me 68.
68.
Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
You're going into slavery again with ships. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
See, predestination. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
These blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are not from here. And you ain't seen your homeland. Read.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
All of us was on oxygen blocks, man. Who did this happen to? Read.
For bondman and bondwoman.
Read.
And no man shall buy you.
Right. So the Lord told us who the Israelites is in the predestination of the promises, man. Why don't you believe? Why don't the Christians believe this? They, you know, what it is, our people have a problem receiving from our people. Just like our people even have a problem with buying black on a personal level. And and a lot of times, black people, so-called black people, they have businesses, and other black people think that they supposed to get stuff for free from black people. We the only one that do that to each other.
Or
We don't-
discounted rate.
right. We the only one that, you can't hook me up. You not getting a hookup from nobody else. You paying $5,000 for a Gucci belt. I just asked you, the brother just asked you to buy a $7.99 food plate, and you think you should give them $5. So when this truth come out, a lot of people don't like it because it's coming from their own people.
Because they hate themselves.
Because they hate themselves, but they hated Christ too. They hated Yahushua. So these things they're not difficult to put together, right? So let's go to Romans 8 and 29, right?
Romans chapter 8 and verse 29. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son.
Right.
That he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called.
Them he called. Right? So as many that were, let me read that again. In John, it says, but as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons, even to him that believe on his name. Right? Read that one more time.
28.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 28. And we know that all things were 28 or 29?
29.
For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son.
Right.
That he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
Read on.
Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called.
He called. Read.
And whom he called, them he also justified.
You see that?
And whom he justified, them he also glorified.
So this is telling you who he did predestinate. He called. He chose who? Israel.
Yeah.
And he's cleaning Israel up. He justified. Right? So these things, they not difficult. Give me John 15 and 16. You hear? Give me rest of Esther 10 and 7.
Ten and 7?
Mm-hmm. I need that John 15 and 16.
John 15 and 16.
Bring it out.
You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you.
And ordained you. So you was chose, you was appointed. Read.
That you should go and bring forth fruit. That your fruit should remain.
See that? So some of us, you don't choose this truth. You don't choose to serve the Most High. You don't say one day I want to change my life. No, you're going to remain in darkness until the Most High shine His light on you, until He wake you up, man. And that's chosen from the foundation of the earth. It's your lot. You know, give me that, Judah.
Rest to Esther, chapter 7 and verse 7.
Read.
10 and verse 7.
Read.
And the two dragons are I and Ammon, and the nations were those that were assembled to destroy the name of the Jews.
Right, so the Most High, He didn't come for everybody. So He's making a separation. The nations are those that came together to destroy the name of the Jews. In Psalms 83, right? Read.
And my nation
is who?
Which cried to God and were saved. For the Lord hath saved His people.
His people? Who is His people? Read.
And hath delivered us from all those evils. And God hath wrought signs and great wonders, which have not been done among the Gentiles.
Read on.
Therefore He made two lots.
Therefore He what?
He made two lots.
So the Lord, before the earth was created, He made two lots. Read.
One for the people of God.
One for the Israelites. Read.
And another for the Gentiles.
And another for the rest of the nations, man. So that's never going to change. You got to believe that. Give me, did we get Romans 11 and 8?
No. Look at that.
Give me that, Yasha. Give me Romans 11 and 8. I want you to look up this, Judah. Irrevocable. Give me that. Romans 11 and 8.
Romans 11 and verse 8.
28, Salakia.
Romans 11 and verse 28. As concerning the gospel, they are enemies for your sakes, but as touching the election, they are beloved for the Father's sake.
Hold on, real quick. Is 115?
What?
Address.
Yeah. You want me to just stop?
No. I got it. Hold on.
Excuse me.
Okay, read that one more time.
I be hurting.
Read that one more time. Salakia.
Romans 11 and verse 28.
Read that.
As concerning the gospel, they are enemies for your sakes.
Right.
But as touching the election, they are beloved for the Father's sake.
Right. So this is the gospel, right? So I'm gonna get it in a different translation, because some of these things, you know, they was written in allegory, so you know everybody wanted to pick up on it, right? So this is I'm gonna read it in a different translation. It says this is the NIV. Many of the people of Israel are now enemies of the good news, right? The gospel. And this benefits you Gentiles. So this is what they don't understand. They say, okay, it was for Israel, but then they didn't accept it. The same thing that's going on in John, he's about to explain it in Romans. He says, many of his people, Israel, are now enemies of the good news. And this benefits you Gentiles. Yet they are still the people who he loves, because he chose their ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So he's telling you. Now, we going to deal with the Gentiles, but we dealing with Israel right now. He said, look, man, he always chose them because he made a promise with their forefathers, and he loves them. But now he's going to let these Gentiles in, right? He says, for God's gift and his call can never be withdrawn. Once you Gentiles were rebels against Yahweh, but when the people of Israel rebelled against him, God was merciful to you instead. Now they are rebels, and God's mercy has come to you, so that they too will share in God's mercy. So you got two nations. One went off, and the Lord made way for the other nation. Then that nation went off, and the Lord made way for the other nation. So both nations went off. And it happened at two different times, so the Lord could show us, the Jews and the Gentiles, that we're not better than one another. But we got to figure out who these Gentiles are, right? Because that's who Christ went to after he went to his own people, right? So it's going to keep reading. It says, matter of fact, give me 27, Yasha.
Romans 11 and 27.
Yeah, and then we'll read on. Matter of fact, read 25. It's going to show you.
Romans 11 and verse 25.
Read.
For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery.
Right.
Lest ye should be wise in your own conceit.
So it's a mystery, man. In the mysteries, the secrets was given to us and our children forever. So a lot of people think that these just random Joe Smos and random Jillies and random, people. No, this was predestined from the foundation of the earth, so the Lord will show his love and his tender mercies with us, man, and our children. Right? So read it from the top.
Verse 25. For I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery.
Right.
Lest ye should be wise in your own conceits.
Mm-hmm.
That blindness in part is happened to Israel.
Right.
Until the fullness of the Gentiles become in.
Read.
And so
the fullness of the Gentiles will come in. Let's see who these Gentiles are. Read.
Verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved.
And so what?
All Israel shall be saved.
So those Gentiles are Israelites.
Calm.
Read.
As it is written, there shall come out of Sion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
He's going to give Jacob a new heart. Read.
For this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins.
You see that? So he's going to take these Gentiles, even those, he's going to put his laws in their heart. That is the covenant that he made with your forefathers from the beginning, that all Israel going to be saved. But you got to understand that, you had the Jews dwelling in Jerusalem, but you had the Israelites, you had Ephraim, you had the tribes, you had the northern kingdom living like heathens, man. But we all went out. We all went off. I'm gonna show you. Give me. Did you give me that definition?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give me that.
Irrevocable.
Uh-huh.
All right. Irrevocable. Not to be changed.
Not to be what?
Not to be changed.
So you can't. The Lord is telling us right now, these gifts are without repentance. They're irrevocable. He made these covenants with our forefathers. He always made it for Israel and Judah. Not to be what?
Not to be changed.
Right.
Reversed. Or recovered. Final and an irrevocable step.
It cannot be changed. He said, I am God. I change. I am Yahweh. I change not. Now I'm going to show you we both went out. Y'all should give me Jeremiah 3:6-11. We got a few more. You hear? Give me John 5:46. Grace, give me Isaiah 8:20. Judah, give me Matthew 17:1.
Jeremiah 3:6-11.
Yeah.
Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 6.
David, I want you to give me John 11:49. Bring it out.
Okay.
The Lord said also unto me in the days of Josiah, the king,
Read.
Hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel have done?
He said what?
Hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel have done?
So the northern kingdom went out. He said, man, you seeing what my people's doing? Read.
She is gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there have played the harlot.
She unfaithful, just like a woman. He said, my children, Israel, you see what they do? They to mess with every god that you can mess with. He said, my children are unfaithful. They gone off, man. Read.
Verse 7. And I said, after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me.
But what?
But she returned not.
Read.
And her treacherous sister Judah saw it.
So the Gentiles, the northern kingdom went off. Now Judah about to go off too. Read.
Verse 8. And I saw when, for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away.
So she needed to be adopted back. She needed to be brought back in the fold. There needed a savior out of Zion had to come. Right, to give them the power to become the sons of the living God. Read.
And giving her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, and went to play the harlot also.
Damn, read.
And it came to pass, through the lightness of her whoredom,
Right.
that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks.
With what?
Stones and stocks.
So, in my Bible, in the I'm gonna get it in this version. Anybody know what stocks is?
The truth.
No, stocks is wood. Oh. So she did what? She played adultery with what?
With stones and with stocks.
Right. And that shows you how that's us.
Christianity
with wood, with stocks, and with stone, with Islam. Yeah. From that day until now, man, we have not changed as a people. When you go and look at our people, we either in Islam or we in Christianity. We still dealing with stones and stocks. I'm going to read it in this translation. This Jeremiah chapter 3, and what was that, 8?
That was verse 9.
9? Okay, I'm going to read it in this one. It says, Israel treated it all so lightly. She thought nothing of committing adultery by worshiping idols made of wood and stone. You see that? Hey, this Bible pinpoints us, man. It pinpoints us, man. You got all these Israelites, all these Jakes going to prison, coming out with the beanie. That's the Arabs' God, man. He don't want you at their mosque. Even the Arab, I done talked to brothers that was in Islam. They'll tell you, hey, man, they don't, who the black people serve as their Islam God is not the same God as the Arabs' Islam God. Mm-hmm. They serve two different gods, man. So, because that's not their God. You go ahead.
I had just seen a video the other day about that, how they say people in Islam or whatever, so-called black people with black skin, they don't accept them or receive them. They're at the bottom and they barely get enough food, work, or all of that. Like, they discriminated over there again. That's how you know.
You see that? People. Now, watch this. Give me that jump. Let's wrap this stuff up. Let's wrap it up.
What was it, John 5 and
46? I want y'all to listen to this. This is deep.
John 5 and 46.
Read.
For had you believed Moses.
See, that's the only thing we had to do. The Old Testament told us everything that was going. That's why they don't like the Old Testament. That's why they say, go to the New Testament is saying the same thing that the Old Testament is saying. It's just rewording it. They couldn't be as blunt, as bold. They were crucifying Jews, man. It was unlawful to call yourself a Jew at all. So we had to use words like stone and stock. You see? Mm-hmm. Read it again.
For had you believed Moses, you would have believed me.
It was real simple. Only thing you had to do was go to the law. I put everything that was going to happen in there. I said the same thing as Moses said. Read.
For he wrote of me.
He did what?
For he wrote of me.
Read.
But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words?
And that's a cut for the Christians. Yahweh Shah himself said, if you believe not Moses' writings, you can never believe me, man. Watch this. Give me Isaiah 8 and 20.
Isaiah 8 and 20.
Read.
To the law and to the testimony.
To Moses and the prophets. That's why the Most High gave. Look, man, why do you think the Old Testament is so thick? To Moses and the prophets, he gave us all this instruction. But we stiff-necked, we rebellious. Read.
To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word.
So if somebody come and tell you anything and they don't want to go to Moses and the prophets, it's because what?
It is because there is no light in them.
It's because they're dark. They full of lies. This is how we prove the Bible. To the law and to the testimony. Right? Give me that, Judah. Matthew 17:1. I'm going to show you what was in Yahweh Shah. These things are mysteries, man. But it's beautiful. Watch this.
Matthew 17:1.
Read. So I want you to get this definition, Shanetta. I sent it to you. I want you to read this after you read that. Transfigured. So read this. I want y'all to listen to this.
And after 6 days, Yahweh Shah taketh Peter, James, and John.
He took who?
Peter, James, and John.
So these mysteries are given to Christ's closest friends. He had 12 disciples. He only took 3. You see? He took who?
Peter, James, and John, his brother.
Right, he about to show him something. Read.
And bringeth them up into a high mountain.
Right?
And was transfigured.
He was what?
Transfigured.
Give me the definition of transfigured. Yasha.
Transfigured. Transform into something more beautiful or elevated.
Read it one more time.
Transform into something more beautiful or elevated.
That's what Yahweh Shah did. He transformed into something more beautiful or elevated. A lot of people think that Moses and Elijah appeared. No, Yahweh Shah transfigured into something more beautiful. He's going to show you what was his mission. Read. Read it too.
And he turned before them, and his face did shine.
Read it right.
And was transfigured before them. And his face did shine as the sun. And his raiment was white as the light.
And read.
And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias.
It appeared who?
Moses and Elias.
That was what was within Yahweh Shah. The law and the prophets. He was showing his best friends, hey, what his will was, what he came to do. He came to fulfill the law and the prophets. And if you don't listen to Moses, it's impossible for you to listen to Yahweh Shah. If you don't obey the prophets, it's impossible for you to please the Most High, man. Read.
Talking with him. Then answered Peter and said unto Yahweh Shah, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt.
You read verse 9.
And as they came down from the mountain, Yahweh Shah charged them, saying, Tell the vision to no man.
He said what?
Tell the vision to no man.
So he only give his secrets to his closest friends, man. Watch this. Give me Luke. And these things are plain, man. Give me that phone. Give me Luke 16 and 28. Give me that, David. Give me Luke 16 and 28.
Okay. Luke chapter 16 and verse.
Give me 29.
29.
Right there. And 29.
Bring it out.
Abraham said unto him, Have Moses and the prophets.
They have who?
Abraham said unto him, They have Moses and the prophets. Let them hear them.
They got Moses and the prophets. Is that in red?
Yeah.
Read verse 30.
And he said, Nay, Father Abraham.
They don't want to listen to the law and the testimony. They never wanted to obey Moses. And they always killed the prophets. And those same people are on this earth today. So when we tell them the law, we show them the law and the testimony, they say no. They say no, read the New Testament. It's saying the same thing. We reading it right here in red in Luke. He said you have Moses and the prophets, hear them. But they say no. Read.
Abraham, but if one went into them from the dead, they will repent.
They said, and it's crazy, They said, no, give us somebody back from the dead. And it's crazy because the Most High is so merciful that they sent one from the dead. He sent one from the dead, and they still didn't listen to him. Read verse 31.
31.
David, 31.
31. And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses in the prophet, neither they will be persuaded. Do one rose from the dead.
See, they got no hope, man. If you don't listen to the law and the testimony, man, and that's mighty. That's how the Lord. So if you don't understand, the point is, if you don't understand John, if you don't understand Galatians 3:28, if you don't understand John 3:16, if you don't understand where it may say Gentiles, and you got the law and the prophets, hear them, because they always told you that the promises was for Israel and Judah. Now we're going to show you that. We're going to show you that when Yahushua left those Jews who he went to. Give me that, Yasha. Give me John 11:49. Judah. I mean, you hear? Give me John 1 and 10. Read. Give me John 1 and 10 real quick.
John 1 and 10.
Right.
He was in the world, and the world was made by him.
Mm-hmm.
And the world knew him not.
Read.
He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
So he came to his own, and some of his own didn't receive him. So he went to another people. Read.
But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God.
So some people received him that wasn't of his own. Now watch this. Give me John 11. Let's go to the same book and see who it was.
John chapter 11 and verse 49.
Read.
And one of them named Caiaphas, being a high priest, that same year said unto them, Ye know nothing at all,
Read.
nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people.
So a lot of these people don't know nothing at all. And this was the high priest. He said one man should die for the people. That's a cutter on John 3:16. Because they say that Christ died for all people. Well, we had a man named Caiaphas who was high priest that lived in the time of Christ. And he telling you who he came to die for. Read it one more time.
Verse 50. Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not.
No, the whole world perish not.
The whole nation perish not.
That Christ will come for the people. Read.
And this spake he not of himself,
Right.
but being high priest that year,
Right.
he prophesied that Yahushua should die for the nation.
For the whole world.
Should die for the nation.
For the whole world.
That Yahushua should die for the nation.
For that nation. Read.
And not for the nation only.
Oh, so he's down for another nation. For that nation, and not for that nation only, but for who?
But not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of Yahweh that were scattered abroad.
So that's what Christ did. When he left the Jews, he went to the dispersed. The children of God that were scattered abroad. But it was all through the Old Testament. Only thing you had to do was believe the law and the prophets, and this would have been real easy. But a lot of our people never believed. They never believed, right? So let's go to John 4. Let's go to John 4 real quick. Somebody give me John 4. You might as well give me that, Yashi. We're going to end here. Give me John 4.
John 4 and what?
You had it, David?
Yeah.
Give me John 4.
John 4 and 1.
Give me 3.
Okay, 3. And he left Judea.
He left the Jews.
And
This is where Yahushua went. Judah, give me Isaiah 7 and 9.
And departed again. Departed to get and
into Galilee.
Galilee.
Read.
And he must go through
Samaria.
Samaria.
Read.
Then he cometh the city of Samaria, which is called Skia, near the particle of the ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph.
Judah, go let in Zion real quick. All right, go let in Zion. All right. Read that, Yasha. Let's finish this real quick.
John 4 and verse 3.
Yeah.
John 4 and 3. He left Judea and departed again into Galilee.
So he left the Jews. Read.
And he must needs go through Samaria.
Give me Isaiah 7 and 9. You hear? Why did he go to Samaria? Because he told you in John 11 and 49 through 52 that he not only should die for that nation, but he should go and gather the children of God that was scattered abroad.
Okay.
So he went to Samaria because there was children, God's children in Samaria scattered within the Samaritans.
Okay.
Who was there? Read that.
In the head of Ephraim is Samaria.
And the head of who?
And the head of Ephraim is Samaria.
The northern kingdom was in Samaria. That's why Yahweh went there. Israel was there. He left the Jews and went to Israel. Why? Because Judah went off too. And the Most High brought him back. Why you think he went? He even said, Ephraim is my firstborn. The Lord loved all his children. Yahweh loved his people. Right? So Ephraim is what?
Is Samaria.
Is the head of Samaria. Now read that again. Verse 5.
Verse 5. Then cometh he to a city of Samaria,
Right.
which is called Senchar,
Right.
near to the parcel of the ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph.
So that was Joseph's land.
Okay.
Joseph had land. He had children over there in Samaria. Right. Read.
Verse 6. Now Jacob's well was there. Yahushua therefore being weary with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour.
Read.
There cometh the woman of Samaria
She was an Ephraimite. Read.
to draw the water. Yahushua said unto her, Give me to drink.
Right.
For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat.
Read.
Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria?
Read.
For the Jews have no dealings with the
Right.
Samaritans.
The Jews had no dwellings with the Gentiles, the Samaritans. But guess what? Ephraim is the head of Samaria. Right. So give me verse 12.
Verse 12.
Give me 11.
11. The woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou lived? From whence then hast thou living water?
Read.
Art thou greater than our father Jacob?
What the woman say?
Art thou greater than our father Jacob?
Right. So this woman of Samaritan was a child of Jacob. Read.
Which gave us the well.
So warm up. Right.
Which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle.
You see that? So Yahweh was born to the northern kingdom. When he left the Jews, with that we're going to say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right.